So we're live.
Right on. That's great news.
I believe so.
All right. Welcome, listeners, to another edition of the Chudcast. We are broadcasting live from a new age gender reveal party. There are not enough colors for the cake because of all the genders that could possibly come up here. But a quick tidbit, we are broadcasting live. First live broadcast.
First live and the first video. There's a lot of firsts today.
You know, we just decided no fucking around.
Yeah, it's time to modernize, you know.
I just got the update here that
I'm live.
that we're going live. So I got the push notification. You should have too.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, we always just did it in one take anyway, so it's not a huge deal that we're going live. It's just now we have to like wear clothes and
exactly
all that stuff. So
it's, you know, same old sandwich, different bread.
Yeah, exactly, and it won't be broken up as much as it has in the past, which is, I think, a good thing. It's more like traditional, like a podcast.
Yeah,
it's not just a bunch of clips, you know, clickbaity clips like that.
Yeah,
but it's a shame that some of my favorite topics got done before we started doing it like live.
We use all our best material right away.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. We got one person watching.
One watching. Hey, thank you for watching. Stick with us.
Sorry. The first thing I want to talk about, and it happened to us almost a week ago, or literally a week ago, was that parking lot at the Cardinals game.
Oh,
So I just wanted to talk about
juicy topic here.
Like, how crazy was that? I've never felt more like on the border of like chaos than at that moment. Like. And it was a Cardinals preseason game. We parked in an area that wasn't really designated for that.
For the event parking.
So on purpose, the Cardinals are like, we're not going to put any security over there to like maneuver traffic or anything like that.
Right.
Like, fuck those people for not paying for parking, you know? So we were in a bad area for it, but I've never seen it, because, you know, I'm usually there for Coyotes games.
Yeah.
I've never seen it be so, just so congested.
Yeah, it was
no
bad.
Movement.
I mean, I felt like livestock, man. Like,
yeah.
There was nowhere for me to go. Like, we were in it, man.
Yeah,
like, we were in, just kind of like a bit of a backstory for the situation. You know, everybody's trying to leave this game at one time. And this area that we parked in was for a local movie theater. It wasn't for the event parking. So it wasn't the parking lot wasn't designed to hold all this traffic going in and out at the same time. So you know, it basically there was no traffic flow. Everything was very just congested is probably the best word to use for it.
Yeah.
I think it took us like 20 minutes to get like out of the lane that we parked in.
Yeah.
Not the parking spot, but the travel lane. And we were like, it took us probably over 20 minutes just to turn right out of the lane there.
Yeah, like all in all, it probably took us about an hour.
It took us over an hour.
Yeah, to get, you know, 100 yards away from where we originally parked.
Yeah, exactly. 100 yards at, like, you know, about 100 yards, 120 at most.
There's so many people, and so many people that were just frustrated and fed up. I was talking to Danny about it last night. We had dinner, and I was talking to her about how crazy it was and how barbaric it was getting.
Oh yeah, and it was like an hour away from a Mad Max style society.
Exactly.
Like people were gonna start, you know, finding inanimate objects and converting them into weaponry.
Yeah. No, it was really rough. Like, so we're getting out, and we're in a parking lot that has a lot of medians, and basically, like, everyone's trying to get out in one way, and it's all bottlenecked into one area, just for the people listening at home that weren't there. But we're getting out, and there's a traditional rule, and I really want to make, like, videos about like unspoken laws and rules like that.
Unwritten social etiquette.
Like, I have two that I would like to do right away, and it'd be this one that we're talking about with the parking, and then the second one I would like to have it be about bowling etiquette.
Oh, yeah.
Just etiquettes in general. Like, there's so many unwritten rules that the majority of people follow, but when one person doesn't, it's so frustrating. Like,
right.
That they just don't know. So the rule is, let's say you have 3 cars coming. One's coming, left, right, north, west, south. One car in front of you goes, then the car in the...
Yeah, you just alternate taking turns.
You just find the pattern.
Yeah.
And whatever turn it is, you have it go that way. And people that were in the lane that was closest to getting out, they just kept going straight.
Yeah. When it's that I hate to keep using the word congested. When it's that ass packed, you gotta when it's nuts to butts.
It's nuts to butts, yeah.
When it's nuts to butts out there is no through travel lane anymore because it becomes a stop and go lane. Mm-hmm. So everybody has to the people in what would usually be a travel lane that doesn't have to stop, since they are stopping, you have to let the people stopped on your left and your right. You gotta take turns letting them go. You pull up, you let the person on your right go, you let the person on your left go, and then you go, and then the person behind you will do the same thing. You just keep doing that, and that's how the threads of society stay intact. Certain little rules like that we all follow. But yeah, once one person gets out of hand, it turns the whole thing bad. It's like Lord of the Flies out there.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking to Danny about it, and I was making it sound like they didn't know that was the way it's supposed to be. But she's like, they knew, they just didn't care. They were like, screw you for being in that lane,
Right.
And it was real frustrating. A lot of cars were flying by. We weren't in any hurry.
No.
So we were fine the whole time.
We knew we were going to be there for a long time. But, and the majority of the people did know, nobody's getting out of here quick.
Yeah.
But there were, a few people who were like, if I just be enough of an asshole, I'll get out of here in 5 minutes, which isn't the case. We're all going to be here for an hour at least. There's no hurry. We might as well just be civil and not make enemies while we're stuck in a parking lot with them.
Yeah, exactly.
But so many people were willing to just, burn all the bridges in that parking lot and, dude, you don't want to be a dick in a parking lot that you can't get out of. Someone's going to come up to you with a gun and blow your brains out,
There's no escape.
No. And there were no cops out there controlling the situation, no security, it was self-governing at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
And, we just had a few bad seeds that decided, to try and topple the whole system with their fucking arrogance.
Yeah. No, it was a total mess, but we weren't frustrated really because we didn't have anywhere to go. But there was, so we were just kind of, letting people be assholes if they wanted to be assholes.
Right. But
there was this guy that came from a few cars back in the opposite direction from us, and he was noticing what was going on. Mm-hmm. He was noticing that the car in front of the car that he was with was not going anywhere. It was a large truck, and it wasn't moving anywhere because they weren't being very aggressive.
No.
Trying to enforce the unwritten rules. So this guy came out of his car, and he was a really nice guy, kind of a bigger guy, Deadpool baseball jersey.
Yeah.
He was a great guy. He would stand in front of people's cars and he'd have a smoke. Mm-hmm. And people would be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And what do you think he's doing?
Yeah.
We knew
it is exactly what you think he's doing. He's doing exactly the first thought that comes in your head. Oh, he's blocking my car on purpose. That's exactly what he's fucking doing.
We knew right off the bat why he was doing that.
Yeah.
As soon as we saw him get out of his car, we were like, okay, I know what this guy's doing.
Oh, I gave the guy a quick thumbs up.
Yeah,
you're the good guy here, man.
We established that we were allies with him right away. It was that Marshall that we had to pick sides and form alliances.
Yep.
So this guy, most people would like be like, "What are you doing?" And he would talk to them, and they would be like, "Okay, I get it." It escalated. I think everyone that he stood in front of that we saw every time it got worse.
Every time it got worse.
The first car he stood in front of was like a couple, you know, I want to call them teenagers, but they were obviously in their 20s. But they, you know, some people are like trapped in time, like. They're gonna be teenagers forever, like, until they're 36.
Oh yeah,
like,
they were in their mid-20s easy.
Exactly.
They were our age.
But you can tell they were not like they weren't involved with society that much.
No,
the guy was wearing a backwards hat. I think that's a big fashion faux pas for an adult. You know, unless you're
about to put a catcher's mask on,
or like you're welding, like. But so they, you know, they gave him some flack, but they ultimately accepted it, and I feel like they seemed like they were kind of embarrassed. We had a lot of time to sit there and analyze everything that was going on. It was like a Norman Rockwell painting.
It's the most dangerous thing you can give Mike and I is time to sit there and analyze.
Yeah, it was like Jane Goodall.
We will draw our own conclusions so damn quickly, and they're usually very far from true.
Yeah, well, and then so that happened, and then those people went ahead. You know,
they kind of got over it.
Yeah,
they were mad at first.
Yeah,
but they you know, once the guy explained to them like none of us are getting out of here quickly, we might as well just do the right thing. They kind of were like, whatever. But you know, they weren't really. You know, they seemed to get over. They tried to pull a dick move again, but they kind of got put in their place by somebody else. So, you continue with the story. I'm sorry.
After that, you know, the truck that was across the way from us went. I should have like a diagram. We set up on like a whiteboard right here, like car number 3. You know, the car that was across from us, they got screwed over the most. Like the car that was in front of us before we got to this intersection.
Oh, that Honda Civic
got in there. You know. But they got screwed over the most, so they went. You know, it was going to be our turn. There was like a red. I don't even know what it was. I don't remember what kind of car it was.
It was like a crossover. It was I think it was probably like some. I don't want to say it wasn't a Buick.
I want to say it was like a Hyundai or something.
It was some kind of. It was a crossover, pretty much.
Yeah,
you know?
but
you know, half car, half.
Yeah, exactly.
Half SUV.
Yeah, so. The guy then stands in front of this car because they're showing signs that they're not going to follow the rules either. So this guy's like a vigilante at this point. Other people have gotten out of their cars to like talk with them and have a smoke with them. People that aren't really involved. People from a few cars behind us were, you know, it's kind of like a hangout. Like it almost was like had a block party kind of feel.
Yeah,
because everyone knew they weren't moving anywhere.
Right.
But this woman, you know, and we, at the time, we made fun of her accent a lot. She was like Eastern European of some type. And we like ripped on her the whole time. But she had no concept of what was going on.
No.
And she thought that she was going to get so far ahead by, you know, cheating the line. And she just kept going at the guy. Other people chimed in with the guy to like defend him, so he had some numbers.
Yeah.
We were mocking people from the safe distance of our car.
Yeah.
But it's that was like, okay, so it escalated a little bit more from the car behind him. But then it was our turn to go, so I thought we were done with the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, we moved up further. We're like at the next little intersection. We're still following the rules. There's a lot of people that aren't, you know, so you could tell people in that intersection were having the same problems that we were in the other intersection. And they were having the same quarrels. An old woman was yelling out of her window and everything. Like, we gave her the go ahead.
Yeah.
Then this truck comes like barreling in, and he's got his whole nose like right in the intersection. Pretty decent sized vehicle. The guy that was from like an intersection back walks up and stands in front of that guy's truck, and we were like, okay, is this guy gonna police like the whole parking lot now? Like, it was pretty funny. Like, So this guy came from wherever. I don't even know where he is. Like where his car is at this point.
Who are we talking about? Deadpool guy?
Deadpool guy. I don't know if he was even. He might have saw a movie and like got out and he's like, I'm about to do some street justice. Like,
yeah, he might not have even been there for the game.
Then, so this big truck that I was talking about, he stands in front of it, and the guy comes out of the truck and just starts yelling at the guy, threatening him. Yeah. It was pretty brutal. Like, and the guy was much bigger than the Deadpool guy. So
the guy was much bigger than me. I wasn't going to jump out.
No one was going to jump out to help because the guy, not only was he large and in charge, but he seemed unstable to the point where, he's given up on all, like, social rules.
He didn't even try to have, like, a civil conversation with this guy. Like, dude, come on. Like, what are you doing? Stop being a dick. It was, like, right when that guy stood in front of the truck. And it's not even like the truck had an opportunity to go anywhere. Like, nothing opened up. It was, like, right when this guy stood in front of the truck for more than 30 seconds, the guy in the truck got out, and he's like, are you trying to get your ass knocked out here today? Like, starts freaking out. And I'm like, holy shit.
I'm like this all the time and stuff. Yeah. It was pretty brutal. Like, I was like, we're about to witness some, like, World Star kind of shit. That cup might have a leak in it.
Cup has a leak in it.
There's a crack in that cup.
Mike, you're going solo on the show for a second.
All right, Jensen's going to take a break. Hello, everyone. Now it's just Mike. So, it's still only one. I wonder who the one person watching is. It's probably my mom. She hasn't texted me yet, so I don't know if it's her or not. But, yeah, so this guy, and we were thought, because we're stuck here. So we're in this like, intersection. We can't go anywhere if there's, like, a big fight breaks out or anything. We're stuck here, and we either have to participate or just watch, and I would feel bad doing either. So, like, I don't know, it was, like, a weird feeling to me, and I was like, all this during a preseason game.
I know. Crazy.
Like, it was so weird. After that, like, the guy, the Deadpool shirt guy decided, this isn't worth getting beat up over. Yeah. Retreated to where he, honorably. And the guy got back in his truck, and, we continued to move forward. Things started moving a lot faster at that point. But it was just, like, a tense situation. And when we looked back, like, we got out of that lot and kind of in another lot.
We kind of got pretty close to the light that would bring us out on the street to where we could, where we were, like, officially out of the parking lot. We were almost out of the parking lot.
Yeah, we looked back, and the guy's truck is still in the same spot. Like, it's not like he moved anywhere.
No.
He probably let a lot of cars in.
Yeah.
So
either that or people witness that guy being a total fucking dick.
Yeah.
And they're like, everybody kind of had a hive mind of coming together. Like, this guy's officially not going anywhere for the rest of the night.
Well, I like to think that, like, he, like, got back in his car and thought, like, wow, that was kind of a dick move. And, like, just let a ton of cars go. I like to think that's what happened.
I don't know if that guy had that kind of rationale.
I know, that's the thing.
That, I noticed he had some people in the car with him, so, like, maybe someone in the car was like, dude, you're being a real fucking asshole.
Exactly.
Like,
or, like, but also I think, like, maybe it wasn't his plan to, like, launch into the line out of turn in the first place. Like, maybe that we kind of judged him too quickly, because it was, like, right after he sped up and, like, got there, the guy was, like, on the car.
Yeah.
So, but it's just a tense situation, but I really want to make a video at some point about those kind of, like, rules. Like, because there's some kind of education that isn't being done for society.
We've talked so long about doing segments for the show.
Yeah.
And we got to start getting on that soon. So we could always make, it doesn't have to be every episode, but we could make a, like a social etiquette.
Social faux pas.
We could start doing stuff like that. Bring it up every now and then. So.
Yeah. No, that would be great. But I just wanted to mention it because that was like something crazy, and we were both together at the same time. And
yeah. It was definitely a good talking point.
Yeah.
We talked about it the whole time,
Yeah, exactly.
We could have done a podcast there in the car. And
that would have been great.
We should have had dash cam footage, man. That would have been...
Oh, I could have, like, supplemented some, like, footage. I'd be like, this is...
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about is how I've just... Obviously, you're watching this either live or on a recording of the live, but...
Quick plug real quick. Anybody watching live right now, if you jump into the live chat and you want us to talk about something, feel free.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you
no
give
matter
us
what it is.
You give us a topic, we'll give we'll get in on it somehow.
Yeah, I don't know who's just watching right now, not saying anything, not saying. It's probably someone that does not speak English. Because my one live stream I did, it was a bunch of Portuguese. I'm guessing they were from Brazil and not from Portugal, but that's all it was. Because I knew it wasn't Spanish, but I knew it wasn't like French or Italian. So I'm like, that's Portuguese right there. So.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to, since we are doing a live show, I kind of want to get some people involved.
Yeah, I love streaming live. I've been doing a lot more on the YouTube channel, and it's made me realize like we might have to get 2 microphones, and we might have to get like other stuff.
I think we can get 2 microphones. I've been looking into getting one. So
have you looked at? I was thinking a good one for you would be the Snowball. Have you seen that? It's made by the same people who make this one. Mm-hmm. It looks kind of goofy, but cool. It's cheap, and it's like $50. Yeah, but it looks weird, but it has really good reviews. I've heard.
Oh, okay.
And like I've seen a ton of people using them for them, but
I'll look into something.
I don't know. I have big things I want to do. I want to have like multiple channels and all kinds of different content and stuff. It's just such a fun hobby for me. Like I love doing it.
Oh yeah, dude, I had so much fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a blast. So.
All right. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you can go ahead and jump on your next topic there.
This might get kind of heated on this next topic.
Is it about Amazon?
No.
Okay.
It is about Overwatch, though.
Okay.
They fucked up Mercy.
Did they fuck her up? Or
they fucked up Mercy, and I'm thinking about just not playing Overwatch anymore. That was my main character. I'm very furious about it, because that was my main character I played as, most hours logged as. And they fucking took away, like, the main reason you play as her is her ult to res everyone. And you might think, like, what's the big deal? You can still res one hero at a time. Mm-hmm. But it has a 30-second cooldown.
That's crazy.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's a huge
You know how quickly you die as a Mercy in 30 seconds? So it's basically once per life.
Yeah.
And they're talked about how it's like, to prevent Mercies from hiding the whole time. It's like, what do you think they're going to be doing waiting for their one res to come back? They're going to be hiding.
Yeah.
It's super frustrating. They should have made it like a sub-ult or something like that. Like
kind of how they did with Symmetra.
Like you have to do a bunch of stuff to... Not like that. Like you have to do a certain amount of healing so your res will come back, or you have to do a certain amount of attack boost so your res will come back.
Yeah, that's
like it like loads. More like a Torbjorn like kind of armor load.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That makes sense.
But I don't know. And the ult they gave her, I've seen footage of it on YouTube. It's it looks so dumb. She can fly, but it looks like it's hard to control. I've seen a lot of people like fly off the map. Her beams go longer distance, but it doesn't seem like that significantly longer.
Right.
And when they tether, so like if you hit one person and they're next to someone else, it'll tether to them too.
Is that only during the ult?
That's only during the ult. You know what I mean? So it's cool and all, but it just makes me think of Orisa's attack boost. Yeah. Like what's the point of having Orisa?
Yeah, Mercy's definitely one of those characters. Well, I wouldn't say she's in my opinion, there's some characters in Overwatch that you play mostly for the ult.
Yeah.
I would say Pharah.
Yeah.
Pharah and Diva are probably the two I would say are for sure you play for the ult. You play just so you get your ult, and you get the ult, and you try to make one big play that wins the game. Mercy's on the border of that. You play to get that ult to where you can make a push against the enemy team. And if you lose too many on that push, you can just revive them. They come back full health, and the enemy team is still has battle scars.
Yeah.
And you hopefully take the point with that tactic. But yeah, with that change, it's gonna change the landscape of the game. But I kind of like the idea of them playing with Mercy though, because I feel like the game's evolved too much like around her. Like I feel like the game started to leave her in the dust. I don't want to say she was becoming obsolete, but she was definitely losing her her characteristics weren't as powerful as they were when the game first arrived. So I feel like some work with Mercy needed to be done. Yeah, but I don't know if it needed to be this extreme.
Well, that's the thing is I totally 100% feel the same way, but I feel like it's the opposite direction. Like they're making her less valuable than making her valuable. They could have added the one person res and still had the full res be her alt. Yeah. You know, I'm more frustrated with the alt change. Like, how is a Mercy going to get play of the game now? The only way you can get play of the game as Mercy before was if you had like a 5-player res.
Right.
And it won the game. Like and it led to moving the payload forward and winning.
Yeah.
That was the only way to do it. How are they going to do it now? You're not going to get a play of the game anymore. So I think every character deserves to have an opportunity to get a play of the game. Regardless of their like play style.
Yeah, well, if you're an Anna, it's probably never gonna fucking happen.
That's I think that's it right there. Like, why don't they mess with characters like that? There's so many characters that need fixing. I don't know why they would go with Anna or like with Mercy right away. Like,
I would like to see Anna's gun shoot a little quicker.
Yeah,
that's what I would like to see. If she, you know, if it was just a you know, between 25 to 50% quicker shots, Anna would be a fucking awesome character. She'd be right up on. I mean, she's already a great character for competitive players who know how to use her really well and communicate with a team. But when you're just playing like quick play and you know, everybody's trying things out and you're not really communicating as a team, you know, Anna can get kind of stale as a hero.
Like, some of the reasons they talked about that they did this with Mercy is, like, if you're a Pharah and you build that ult and you wipe the whole enemy team and then a Mercy comes in and reses them all, it's like, well, that's just part of the game.
It is part of the game.
Like, whenever I play as Pharah all the time. That's, like, one of my main... that's, like, my main offensive hero, and if I ever do that and then the Mercy does it, I'm like, ah, crap, but it's, like, it's fun. It's
but, I play as... characters that have some pretty like big hitting ults. I wouldn't say McCree's is like a huge hitter, but you know, if a lot of people who main McCree like I do will figure out the right time to get that ult off and get that 4-player kill.
Yeah.
I play as Reaper quite a bit too. You know, the Death Blossom can do a lot of damage on a point. Junkrat's Riptire can do some damage. When I'm playing as those characters and the other team has a Mercy, I wait till she uses that res and then instantly hit my ult. You know, I make sure to get those people right when they come back. You know, if I ult too early and then they all get rezzed up, I don't like say this game is broken.
Yeah.
Like it's bullshit. I just go, you know, my strategy was, you know, I never think like what that Mercy did was unfair. I think what I did, I go, I didn't strategize well enough. Like I didn't think through that she was going to do that, you know, and that's my fault. So
anyone on any platform of Overwatch can see what characters the other team is using, and when you are a team or a hero that has an ult that kills, you know, you go and kill the Mercy first, and then you use your ult. Like if the Mercy's dead, they can't res.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Hear me out on this. Do you think they changed? I know we talked about this before. Do you think they're changing Mercy's hero composition to try and make her useful in the team deathmatch?
That's
because in a team deathmatch you don't need res.
That is
you don't need a resurrection.
That is a great point. I didn't even think about it. That would be.
But I still think it's dumb to try and make these changes so quick before you even have the team deathmatch go live, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you got to get a solid like 3 weeks in of people testing it out and giving you feedback. And then you make changes to Mercy. You know?
That's a good point. Like, I didn't even think about that.
I just thought of it.
A lot of people in the like test right now that are playing it, I think they're going to nerf her already. And that is they're going to nerf her gun strength when she's in her ult. Because a lot of people have been putting the ult off and shooting, and apparently the gun is like super powerful when you're in ult kind of form.
Never would have thought.
Yeah, well, I love that gun, but Dude, I rewatched our video that we made of Overwatch, and literally everything we say in it, it's like they copied word for word. Like, I feel like they watched our video and they were like, this is what we need to change about Mercy. Because in it, we talk about how we talked about flying. That's what I was going to say. Like, I talked about how I don't res people when I have my res. Or, like, I don't heal people when I have my res. I shoot people. They mentioned, like, how people will just hide when they have their res. But I still am involved with killing. You know, I'd rather save my res for when I really need it than waste it. You know, so it's... what was I going to say? Like, then we talked about... Remember when I tried to launch myself onto that cliff and I fell? And you're like, she has wings. How come she can't fly real quick? Like, when are they going to make her fly? A week later, they make her fly. Like, I really want to know how she's going to control when she flies, too. But I think there's so many things in the video that they talked about that I, like, was really frustrated about. And I never heard anyone complaining about Mercy before. Competitively, she's not even really played that much. People play as Lucio or Anna for competitive. And I think Lucio's much more... Our friend Ben Tolmachoff, I hope he's the one that's watching. Friend Ben Tolmachoff was like, we needed someone that could do group healing. It's like, what the fuck does Lucio do? Anyone that's around him is getting healed at all times with his jams. I don't know. It's just, there's so many. And then at the end of the video, the update video, they're like, oh yeah, and we're going to fuck up D.Va too. Which is like another character I play as a lot. So it's like they're taking all the characters I love. First it was Reinhardt. They're taking all the characters I love and they're just decimating them. Their D.Va, they're like, we have problems with their defense matrix. And I'm like, okay, they're going to make it stronger. Because I always think it's really weak. I hardly ever even put it up. Because as soon as I put it up, it seems like it charges all the way down. And people can still shoot you from behind. You know? D.Va's a huge character. That little defense matrix in the front doesn't really help her that much. I don't know. I'm very passionate about this, Jensen.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
D.Va's defense matrix, I'm impartial to it. Because I'm really only speaking as somebody who plays against D.Va. I never play as D.Va. The shitty thing about her defense matrix is the thing I liked about them weakening her defense matrix is it's like, you know, but it kind of goes back to strategy play, you know, like trying to play your strategy right. Like, you know, I play as mostly offensive heroes, and you know, you get up against a D.Va with her defense matrix. Like, by the time you get it down, you've already taken so many hits from like that D.Va's teammates that D.Va can just open up on you once you get her defense matrix down and it kills you. But then again, that's just bad strategy to take that risk.
Yeah,
but you know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. You know, thing I've realized is like nobody's safe.
Yeah,
no hero is safe. You know, when I first got the game, McCree and Genji were my two go-tos. They both got hit hard.
Yeah,
McCree, they're finally starting to even like consider making McCree, you know, a little more powerful, which I don't think is a necessity. Because they talk about like changing his ult and stuff, and his ult. Yeah, he's not a character I play for the ults. He's a character I play for his, you know, you know, all around skill.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I don't keep up with the changes they make. I just turn on the game and play it. But it feels like his stun grenade has like a longer reach now. I feel like I'm being able to stun people from a little bit farther away. But also I used to play a lot of Roadhog. I can't play him right now. Yeah. He's just too weak, but they're finally starting to make changes back to him. You know, I feel like Blizzard's going to have this real problem where they're just going to keep tweaking heroes so much that like you look at Overwatch on its release date and then like you look at Overwatch like a year and a half to 2 years later, it's going to be like a completely different game. Like cuz they change one hero and then like they have to make like because of the changes to that hero, they have to like change another hero, and it's like a domino effect where Whereas they should be like trying to reverse changes. Like when they realize like a change was too far, they should just reverse it instead of like coming up with a new fix for that character.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
exactly. Like that they've never changed someone's ult that drastically. Like they changed Symmetra's. I would say before the Mercy change, like the Symmetra change was the biggest change to like a single character. But
I agree.
Now it's like the sky's the limit. It's like, couldn't you just save this stuff for Overwatch 2?
Yeah.
And be like, this is how Mercy is now.
Listen up, like Blizzard. Since you're obviously paying attention to us, I bet you're watching right now. I want McCree to dual wield pistols, man. That's what I want.
That would be cool.
Bring that shit.
That would be really cool.
Nah, it'd probably suck.
It'd be like Reaper, like.
And you like flip both pistols at once. Nah.
But yeah, I mean, like, think about Hanzo's hitbox. Like, there's so many other things that they could change and fix that, like, the community everywhere I go is complaining about. And then they'll change something that I've never seen anyone complain about. But we'll see. We'll see how, like, Mercy, like, how many people are still playing as her, or how much it changes, like, my strategies when I'm against a Mercy now. Like, I want to know how killable is she when she's in that Valkyrie mode, when she's flying around. Because if you're a Widow and you could one-shot, headshot her, then it's like totally useless.
Yeah, I agree.
Or
if like you get up in the air and you just basically come from behind your cover to get hit by a turret, a Torbjorn turret. That's
a good point too.
That's fucking lame.
I think of Torbjorn every time they change the game. I think of Torbjorn turrets, like how it's going to affect Torbjorn. Because, like when they came out with Sombra and the hacks and everything, I'm like, how's it going to affect my turrets? And like, with the Mercy thing, the res is 30 seconds, and then when you're in Valkyrie mode, it's 10 seconds, and the Valkyrie mode lasts for 20 seconds.
Okay.
So you get 2 reses out of your. I know from experience, resing one person is a mistake. Like, every time I do it, it's in a panic, and then that person dies immediately after I res them. Mostly because
they're glowing yellow. The whole team can see who just got
and they're out taking a piss when they're waiting to be respawned. Like,
how
many times I've res someone and they're just not moving, and they get gunned down. And like, how much glow is she gonna have when she's flying around?
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see, man. I got her Athena skin in a box, and now I'm never gonna
play as her again.
I might have to play as her just for now so I can enjoy her while it lasts. With the streaming thing, my internet is not strong enough to like stream a game like Overwatch that's like a live game, because it's too much traffic on my internet. Yeah, so I've only been streaming like 1-player games.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna keep the multiplayer games for like if I record with you or Matt,
okay,
kind of thing. But yeah, I mean that's like 2 of my main topics. I've got a bunch of like I keep like carrying over topics from like other Chudcasts.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Easter eggs.
Yeah. Let me think. Do you have anything? I don't want to like bombard everyone with my.
I had like one thing I really wanted to talk about. It's been a hectic week for me. just with work and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't really. Every day when I come home, I've just been mindless. I haven't been doing the work of trying to find things I want to talk about. But I have like one main topic I want to talk about, and like anybody who's kept up with the Chudcast thus far is this gonna be a very typical Jensen topic. Because I seem to always want to talk about like medical procedures. So I want to get this out there. A lot of these topics that I have, these really strange ones, they usually originate at the dinner table of a family dinner at my parents' house. And I want to talk about vasectomies for a bit.
Okay, great.
And it's not so much the procedure itself. I just want to talk about how it's like how when people decide they want to stop having kids, like the go-to thing is like, oh, the man's got to get a vasectomy. And like I already know what people out there are going to be thinking. Like I'm some like dude on a power trip. like it's like I don't think getting a vasectomy is what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it doesn't make you any less of a man. It's not like, I know there's a great word for it that I can't think of. Emasculating. Yeah, it's not that, you know. I don't think that's not the argument I'm having here. It's a completely out there argument. It's more of like an ethical argument, to be honest, because here's what it is. A vasectomy is permanent.
Yeah.
You get a vasectomy, you're done for the rest of your life having children. But it's always the go-to thing is like, let's get this permanent procedure done that cannot be reversed, you know? And like, who's to say we're even going to be together that long, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's just kind of selfish to like instantly like demand that some dude gets a vasectomy. Whereas like women, there's all these like, you know, they have like those, they're called like Nuva rings or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, where they're temporary fixes, you know, like I think Nuva rings last for like 5 years or something like that. And here's the thing is, you know, men, they like throughout their entire lives, they can like sire a child.
Yeah.
You know, whereas women will eventually get to a point where they can't physically have children anymore. So why wouldn't it be more socially acceptable to have women getting, you know, like a series of temporary and easily reversible procedures done to keep from having children instead of having a permanent, like lifelong procedure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you can get your tubes tied as a woman.
And that shit's reversible, right?
I believe so.
Because my mom said it wasn't reversible.
I think it is.
I think it is too.
I think a vasectomy is reversible.
I don't think so.
I think they could fix it.
Because they
burn the vein, or they burn the track from the balls to the, you know, so no sperm comes out. But I think they can reconnect that. Okay.
Well, like most things I like to talk about that are medical, I have very little knowledge on how it actually works.
Neither of us have any.
So, but there was it got even deeper at this with this conversation and this topic here.
Does this go into penis envy?
No. You know, we were getting in this argument about vasectomies and like why, and you know, I pulled, you know, this is where my family writes me off is when I say this kind of shit. They're like, we won the argument because he used the most out there, like he used the most bullshit fucking like he used the most bullshit counters he could think of. My thing is, the reason I think vasectomies are a terrible idea is it's not because it's a terrible idea for the individual. It's a terrible idea for like the human species as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I think we as humanity are teetering on the doorstep of having an alien invasion someday. Like, I think it's going to happen within the
next... How are we going to have our numbers?
That's what I said. Yeah. Is within the next... I think within the next... like totally... I think between now and like 200 years from now, we're going to get a hostile alien invasion. And I argue that you can't have a bunch of guys going out there and getting vasectomies because when aliens invade, like, the best thing you can do is just start making babies. Like, you got... Because they're... You know, aliens travel, like, they're going to be traveling light years to get here. Point. They're here for the long haul.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we got to keep making soldiers, you know. Yeah. So, like, if we have a bunch of, like, dudes who are, like, impotent, like, we're going to be doing ourselves a disservice. Like, we're helping the enemy. So what we got to do is we, like, once they invade, like, the moment aliens invade, like, every dude has just got to, like,
knock someone up.
Just start knocking up any girl who isn't knocked up already. That way we can try and, like, you know, keep building an army that's going to be able to fight off an alien invasion.
I've never thought of it that way, but that is actually like a great way of thinking of it. Like the time span, like if we don't get into contact with aliens in the next like 200 years, I'm thinking we might never.
Right.
But what I think, and not to like get too sidetracked from what you're talking about, but I think that we're due for a new medieval times.
Ooh.
Where it's a loss of all knowledge. So
that would be wild.
I think we're gonna have another. We're like Rome right now. We're at the peak of civilization. I think it's time for the Earth to recycle itself like it did in the Middle Ages. And that's what I'm more worried about, is that we're not going to contact aliens because we're going to revert back to more basic, more barbaric things.
And that's, this is all like theory with like no evidence to support my theories. But like, I believe that's why we haven't seen a hostile alien invasion yet, because I feel like these civilizations that are so advanced probably have like some kind of like code of ethics. Like they probably still see us as barbarians.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't do that to them. But we're eventually, you look at how much we've just advanced since the 1940s, like that's what, like 70 years or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably never do math live because then you look like an idiot. But
Tyler math.
But with the rate that we're moving with, expanding our knowledge and technology, it's only a matter of time before, some alien civilization that's kind of been keeping their eye on us goes, yeah, like
okay,
we can probably justify enslaving these people because they're now, getting on par with us.
But yeah, the vasectomy, personally, I don't think I'd ever get one done.
No, I wouldn't.
You get to a point where you just, let's just not bang, like if we're so afraid of making a baby, like how far away from contraceptives do you have to get before like you're like, I got to make it so I can't have kids,
right?
Like condoms, birth control, like even like a male birth control that'll come out eventually. Mm-hmm. There's going to be alternatives to going that drastic. I think that's going to be kind of an old school way of doing things pretty soon.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I just, the permanence thing is what really bothers me.
I'd like to see a male birth control.
I think there is one already.
But I think it's really painful. I think there's like some kind of crazy injection that you have to get.
My sister mentioned some corkscrew device, and I'm like, that just sounds bad.
I want one like girls have, like where it's
a pill, and it just like kind of zaps all the little soldiers in your nutsack.
Exactly, because then it's a temporary thing. As long as it doesn't like cause like a lot of harm.
Right.
That's like a whole nother conversation about like female birth control. It does have like altering things, but the men don't have reproductive organs. We just have sex organs. You know, we don't make things.
No,
we just provide the tools. Mm-hmm. So we don't have as much like mind altering things that would happen with us as they do. Like with estrogen and stuff like that. So I think it should be easy for scientists to come up with something that is a male birth control, and we should just get it out there. But at the same time, it's just like, be more careful, how dumb do you have to be to pay a doctor to cut your balls?
Right.
That's how I've always looked at vasectomies.
Exactly.
And I know you don't like him, but John Holmberg from the Morning Sickness, the local radio station, he talks about it all the time, and like that's when I feel like you feel when you listen to that show, because I'm like, dude, just because you're a retard with your genitals doesn't mean that I have to listen to it on the radio every morning.
Right.
So that's how I feel, like how you feel about that show. But I think that's a good topic. I love your reasoning about it though, and I can see how your family would just be like, all right, we won. We got them to this point.
They start another conversation while exactly. I'm still sitting there,
exactly.
Rambling out of my fucking mind. But in all honesty, that is my main reasoning, is just because. Well, that's like my reasoning for everything that I do. It always has to do with like some kind of self-preservation. Like a lot of people prepare themselves in life for like things they can like predict and see coming, whereas like I always try to like prepare myself for like things I might not like see coming. I mean, obviously if I'm like trying to prepare myself for an alien invasion, I like envision it coming, but it's like for something that is like just so zany and out there like, because if that happens, I want to be one of the few prepared for it, you know. But like, I don't know. I think I think of like my like survival instinct is that of like an animal that like a dodo bird. Like I'm teetering on the edge of extinction here. Yeah. Like there's no place for me.
I have to fight it out.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
I have to secure my own. No one's going to protect me. I have to secure my own.
Pretty much. That's
like the way I look at it with aliens is no matter how many people are here on Earth, trained, skilled warriors can kill the aliens, or how many weapons we have here on Earth. Mm-hmm. There's no way we would be able to defeat aliens unless we weaponize the entire solar system. So we have to stop thinking of it as this is our planet. We have to think of it as this is our solar system. We have to have, like, you know, killer robots that are in orbit of other planets in the solar system.
Yeah.
Minefields. We have to have, you know, Mars be like a military base. You know, like, to protect just one planet, I don't think we could do it.
Yeah, no
matter how advanced we are.
And that's the thing is, like, my thought on the topic obviously is that of, you know, if we get invaded, we are not winning through advanced technology. Like, because I feel like if you can travel throughout space to get to one planet to conquer, you're going to make sure you can, like, disarm those weapon systems that the other, you know, that the home.
Yeah, you're not going to show up to a planet unresearched.
Yeah, you're going to have a way to, which in an alien invasion, like, we probably wouldn't use nukes anyway, because we'd basically destroy our own planet. But, like, all of our more advanced, like, weapon systems, I feel like would eventually, like, I feel like they would be targeted first.
Yeah.
And, like, brought down. So, like, the only chance we would have of winning is, like, guerrilla warfare style. Because
Red Dawn.
Because like, an invading species, like, you have to think of why they're coming here. They're coming here because they want something from our planet.
Yeah.
Like, they either want something from our planet, or they want slaves, you know. But, you know, if you're that advanced, what do you, like, do you really have a need for, like, you know, brute physical labor anymore? Like, I feel like you probably have technology that takes care of that, or, like, robots or something, or
it's probably but anyway, elemental.
But anyway, like, it'd be very, like, it would be very, like, unlikely that they would come here just for slaughter. So, like, they'd be here for something, and they wouldn't want to, like, damage whatever they're coming here for. So, like, guerrilla warfare would be the way to win it. It is just guerrilla warfare in numbers. Like, you know, if we just keep bringing children in, you know, like, just keep creating children to become soldiers, like, you know, they're not doing that. Like, they left their home planet, so they have a very finite amount of soldiers that they're going to have, whereas we can just keep making them. Unfortunately, it takes us way too long to get, like, a human to the position where they can fight.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the only chance we have, is to just keep making, you know, making people that will eventually become soldiers.
Yeah, like, you know, and I've talked to you about this before, is my belief about, you know, do aliens exist and all that. I believe that, and, like, it's pretty far-fetched and it relies on a lot of stuff, but it is a possibility that I believe there is life out there, but we're one of the first ones to become, like, very intelligent. So I think that we are the ones that are going to be going out there.
You think we're ahead of the curve?
I think that all of our fears about aliens coming here is a premonition of what we're going to be doing to other planets. I think we're going to be the ones that are going out and messing with other planets, probing them, like, making, you know, turning cows inside out. Like, I think that's what we're going to be doing.
I don't know. My belief is, like, is that they already, like, that there is intelligent life, like, way past, like, I have a very, like, opposite point of view than you do on the matter. Like, I believe there is intelligent life out there, like, and there has been for, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. And, like, I feel that they don't really mess with us, because there's, like, some kind of understanding in the universe that you don't, like, tamper with a species that's, you know, still, you know, like, archaic. which by their standards we are still.
Yeah.
Or I'm under the belief that like maybe like alien invasion, like you said, is like something that we came up with. Like maybe like the rest of the world like the rest of the galaxy is like somewhat peaceful. Like everybody's learned how to live like harmoniously. Yeah, they all learned how to live harmoniously, and like maybe they don't come here because like they just see us as too too aggressive. Like maybe we're like a beehive that nobody wants to kick.
Exactly. And
maybe they're just afraid that like if they come to us and we figure out how we get onto their ships, or if like we figure out how they do it, then they run the risk of having a hostile force. That because you look at human history on Earth, we love taking shit over. Like it's like our basic like instinct is to like find something that somebody else has and like take it by force.
It's true.
So like maybe like intelligent life somewhere else in the galaxy has seen that and be like, like we'll deal with them when they become an issue. But like until then, like everybody stay the fuck away from them, because they'll eventually fuck your shit up. Or who knows, maybe if we get invaded by aliens, like they come here to like not enslave us, but they come here to like take us away. And like, what if they like come here to weaponize us? Like we're gonna weaponize the humans on Earth.
Like, we need you guys on our side,
right?
And, like, we know how your nature is.
Like,
so
like people have like there's the idea of like weaponizing animals to fight for you. It's like that's like what some alien species can eventually do, to be like, you guys love violence. Like,
I love how this is like a tangent we're on, because I want to talk about this a lot. Yeah. I'm glad it's not like a scheduled topic. Like, I think with the aliens thing, like you said, like they come here, they're not prepared enough, and we down one of their ships or something, we'll reverse engineer that sucker in no time.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're a spacefaring race.
The things you say what you want about humanity as far as being like self-destructive, like wanting to take each other over. And we've talked about this for years, Mike. It's going to take one other species that's on our level or more advanced to come here, and we are going to like unite like never before. Like,
we have something
like,
new.
Look what happens whenever there's, let's break it down to like our, bring it back down to our Earth, our rock here. Like whenever like tragedy strikes in a country, like that country becomes like so connected. Like everybody becomes like so united, and they're like, we're going to like pull ourselves out of the dirt with this shit. Like after 9/11, like the amount of people that signed up for the military was insane. Like, I don't have the numbers in front of me.
Yeah.
Nor do I know what they have I ever known what they are. I just know that there's a huge spike in it. Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
But so that's all it's going to take. One alien, one ship comes into our atmosphere and we know about it, like we are going to like link arms, and we are just going to like, it's going to be, honestly, an alien invasion might be the best thing to ever happen to humanity. Who knows? Like, because then we'll stop bickering with each other and we'll find a new enemy to want to destroy.
Exactly. Something that's not human.
That's the only thing that's really ripping humanity apart, is like, we just keep wanting to destroy each other.
Yeah.
It's like, if we find something else we want to destroy, like we'll become a much stronger species. We just, some crazy scientist out there needs to find a way to like give like dolphins arms or something, because then we're gonna unite. We're gonna be like, we gotta get those motherfucking dolphins. Like we're gonna become subaquatic, and we're gonna start living underwater so we can fight in the Great Dolphin Wars. It's gonna be good shit, man.
Yeah, like imagine if we were how we were right now, but there was some other animal on this planet that was above us, like intelligence wise.
That would be nuts.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's just always been that way. But imagine like we had enough intelligence. How weird that would be.
Like say ants were like 6 times the size they are right now. Like they would definitely be the dominant species on Earth, because they're so. They don't bicker with each other like we do. Like they are as hive mind as it comes. They're wicked strong. Like that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
like it would be like some like like overlords, you know.
That's
like,
the thing. Like,
we gotta destroy the ant overlords. Like they're oppressing us, you know.
That's the thing. Like, that's how it kind of was when humans were evolving. There was highly evolved humans, and there was sub-evolved humans, and the highly evolved ones just knocked out all the other. The Cro-Magnon,
the Neanderthals.
Yeah,
and the
they just
Homo
wiped
sapiens.
them all out, and there was like fighting between species.
Kind of back to what you said about the Middle Ages thing. Like, what if we're coming up on that soon? Like, where humanity's going to take another evolution, and like current day like humans are going to be left in the dust by like some like advancing like species. That'd be crazy. Like like some super intelligent just like this super intelligent like offshoot of humanity arises, and like, I mean, this is like some X-Men shit now, but like regular humanity's like the new Neanderthals, and like we have to like start fighting against them and shit.
You have to take what you know about everything and realize that there's something that could know more or have a deeper picture of everything than you do. So it's hard to fathom how much you could not know about something. Like, if we were the lesser intelligent race and they had this new humans and they could like read minds or anything like that, they'd have like knowledge that seems like unimaginable to us, but to them it's just normal.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, there's a lot of stuff about AI like going around, like with Tesla and everything. And I was thinking about that in the context of aliens. Like, we always picture aliens to be this like advanced species, but not as advanced as I think they actually would be. Like, we picture them just being more advanced than us, but they would be like light years ahead of us, like literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Like, think of like AI. Like, would they just not have AI? Like, would they have the same morals against AI that we do? Like,
that's a good point.
How does AI work in an alien society of super intelligence? Like, do they just not do it? Or did they have to, like, at one point in their history, did they do it and it was a mistake and they had to, like, go back and get rid of it? Or is it like a Terminator situation? Like, that's how I was thinking about that the other day, and it reminded me of, like, how people thought that today would be, like, when it was the 50s,
Yeah.
It's like you imagine it being more advanced than how you are, but you don't really see exactly what because there's going to be new things that you haven't even thought of yet being created and everything like that. So I think that you can't imagine what's going to be going on in the future because you have no concept at all of...
No, yeah, you can't envision the future.
Even a little bit of how it's going to be.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because like in the 50s, like their idea of like society today was like, flying cars and, like ray guns and shit. And it's funny because like we don't have that stuff. I mean, we still get stuck in fucking traffic. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We probably get stuck in traffic more than people got stuck in traffic in the 50s.
Yeah.
So like we've essentially like devolved. We got like more advanced cars, but they're like more useless.
Can't do as much. Yeah.
So but then in the other sense, like you look at 50s like sci-fi, like people are still listening to radios.
Yeah.
But they're just like really wicked looking radios, and it's like we don't really do like, yeah, we listen to radios in the car, but like, we're not gathering around the radio at 6 p.m. for our favorite radio show. So like we advance in ways that they couldn't see happening, and we've digressed in other ways.
Like, think of people that are born 20 years from now watching something from 20 years before we were born that's supposed to be about the future, and then like the thing that they're gonna notice, how come no one has like phones?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, our grandkids are gonna have like a hard time understanding like life without everyone having a phone at all times to look at. Because kids younger and younger, I was at work the other day, and a kid I work with, a 16-year-old girl, said her first phone, she was in 6th grade, and it was an iPhone 6.
What? Dude, that makes me feel
You know how old
that makes me feel old as shit.
They didn't have smartphones. They didn't have smartphones until like our junior year of high school.
Yeah, that was like when the first iPhone came out.
Yeah.
It was like when we were juniors in high school.
So that's how you know,
that was like 10 years ago too.
These kids don't remember 9/11 because they weren't born. They were barely born or not born yet. Like it's so rapid how different people are gonna be. Like I feel like when we were brought up, it was like the last generation of like kind of archaic, like pre-technology, you know, generation. Because
like it was well, we're part of like, and even like my brother who just turned 19, we're like still like right at the border of like the pre-internet generation.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the internet was around, but like it wasn't all encompassing like it is today. Like people didn't shop online.
Exactly.
You know, like only nerdy people hung out online back then, you know, and like did stuff online, and you know, and that was back when like people were still uncertain if the internet was even going to be like around forever, because like people were losing so much money in like .com startups and stuff, whereas like now there's almost zero risk in building a business on the internet. Like if it doesn't work out, big deal. Like you lose you know your your web hosting fee.
It's all imagination.
Like you lose your $15 for your domain name that you say, like you know, it's that was our generation, is, you know, like when we were kids, like I didn't even know what the internet was when I was a kid.
I think,
like, as dumb as that sounds, when I like until I was like probably 8 or 9, I didn't know what the fucking internet was. Like I never like had used a computer.
I was thinking the same thing. Like when you were talking, I was thinking like, when did like I start using the internet pretty frequently? And like I don't think we had internet that was like worth a damn until I was like 10.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I probably started using it, and I probably only used it for like funnyjunk.com like for the first like 3 years of my life and stuff like that. I don't think I really used it for, you know, well, social media came out and then I was using it a lot more, but just like to look up things or anything, like research or do schoolwork. I remember you used to go to an encyclopedia if you wanted to like learn, like at the library, you'd have to get a like world book to look up something. And
now you just go on Wiki.
Then you just look on Wiki, and then the nerdiest person within a 15-foot radius of you says, "Oh, Wikipedia is not an actual source." That's something that frustrates me. I hate that. How many times have you gone on Wikipedia and it's not been right?
Exactly.
People monitor that shit.
Back in the day, Wikipedia was very
that so much.
Back in the day, Wikipedia was very compromisable.
Yeah.
Like it could just be garbage. But like now, Wikipedia has become such a household name that like they pay attention to that shit, and they make sure that what's put up there is pretty damn accurate. You know, like you said, I've cross-referenced things that I've like seen on Wikipedia, and I'd be like, that's bullshit. That can't be true. And I just like look somewhere else, and I'm like, oh, you know, 3 other people are saying that it's true, so it's got to be fucking.
Any
true.
asshole that goes on there to change something for a joke will make it like, you know,
it's so noticeable.
They'll make like, Abraham Lincoln like the guitarist for Black Sabbath. You know, like exactly. That's what it'll be. It's never like they're gonna change one day off of a Civil War battle date. Like they're not gonna do shit like that. I think all that stigma about Wikipedia came about in the public school system
when teachers realized that we were in an era where they were becoming obsolete because knowledge was just boom right there. Like we could get right on, like, because when we were in high school, so we started high school a little over 10 years ago, right? Like they still wanted us to cite sources from like books.
Yeah.
It
felt so archaic.
Most of the like there were so many online sources that like we weren't allowed to use that are like totally credible. Yeah. You know, and it's like I think that's all it was just like teachers being bitter that like their profession is like is like on the fast track to being outdated because everything's right there in front of us. Granted, like I don't think like, you know, teachers out there don't have a fucking heart attack because your job is pretty damn secure. You work for the government. It takes a long time for the government to phase anything obsolete out. Yeah. Like we're still launching rockets the same way we did in the 60s.
Libraries have the Dewey Decimal System still.
Yeah. You know, so don't worry. You have job security because you work for the government. So
yeah.
And if you're a private school teacher, you have nothing to worry about because you actually have talent and you work for a business. You work for a business that cares about putting out a good product. Yeah, so
exactly.
Teachers everywhere, don't worry about it. Hey, can we bring up one teacher in particular on the Chudcast real quick? Do you think that's
depends on which one it is?
I'm sure any listener probably has like no skin in the game, but I just want to mention it. You remember Miss Mew, right?
Yes, I do.
The geometry teacher.
Old neighbor.
Yeah.
I hope he gets back to her, whatever you say to her.
My sister has her as her one of her teachers at PVCC.
No.
Yes, she's teaching at a college now.
It's almost like she's chasing Jenna at that point.
I know,
like
right?
that's rough.
But I'm sorry to bring that up on the air
that's
because
fine.
I know it's not relatable to anybody else. We can
dox whoever. So. I can tell,
So we'll try to get back to something everybody else can.
Yeah, like.
To. I don't want to be that guy, but we're kind of looking pressed on time. I said
we are really low on time. Let me see if I have a short one. Because
I'd say we got about 5 minutes left in this thing before I have to jet out.
I've got no really short ones, really. I'll save all these for the next time. Okay. Time flies when you're on the thing. I feel like we bust out like 6 or 7 topics.
Like we haven't even like broken the ice yet, man.
What we need is exactly. It was like a warm up. We need like a little timer that's like 10 minutes per topic.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's always our first topic. We have such a problem with keeping that first topic under 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And that topic about the Cardinals game, it was so like hard to explain. They had to say so many words. But I really love the alien stuff we were talking about. So
let's see if we can. I'd say we got like a good 4 minutes here to round it. Round it up to a good time. Like, let's see. Is there anything we want to bust out? Anything on the live chat yet or no?
Nothing. I got nothing.
Oh man,
one person watching it the whole time and didn't say a word. At least say like butts or something. Like say.
I could talk about that, but let's see.
Yeah, it would be like right here.
Okay, so let's see. Well, you know what? We talked about the Cardinals game, like what happened afterwards. Do you want to talk about anything sports related?
Well, that's like
is that
one of the giant topics I had? Okay, was the fight tonight.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
It's tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a prediction now before the fight starts, and I'll make it quick. I think Mayweather obviously will win.
I agree.
I hope he wins. I'm rooting for him. I like McGregor, but Mayweather is an American. And he's the champion for boxing. So if he loses, boxing loses, and no kid will ever step in a boxing ring again, I think.
I kind of disagree with that because like I feel like a lot of people feel that like Floyd Mayweather has like destroyed the sport, making it more about finesse and like because you go back and you watch all those like old like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali fights, like all that stuff, like boxing was really interesting, man. Like those guys got out there, they didn't get out there to win the scorecard. They got out there to fucking beat some dudes up. And like I feel like Mayweather has made it more into like figure skating than fighting.
True.
So like
it's like fencing.
I think if Mayweather loses, I don't think boxing like as a sport loses. I think they have to take a step back and like kind of look at their sport as a whole, I think like I don't know. I personally would like to see someone get in there with Mayweather and actually beat him, just because it hasn't been done. But I don't know. I'm really impartial to the fight. Whatever, I am almost certain Mayweather's going to win. But, I think it would just be a nice change of pace for the sport itself. If like Mayweather lost, especially if he lost by, being knocked out, like
that's the only way he's going to lose.
No, that is here's the thing. Here's my prediction. It will not go all 12 rounds.
Yeah.
Someone is going to get knocked out.
It has to happen.
Because I think McGregor is going to be way too aggressive right off the bat that he's not going to have enough juice to last 12 rounds.
Yeah.
So
he'll let his guard down.
He's not conditioned enough to go 12 rounds.
He's not in his fundamentals.
So he's either going to get a really good blow on Mayweather, or Mayweather's going to wait till McGregor's gas and he's gonna hit him.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. If it's in a decision, Mayweather wins no matter what.
I don't even think it's going to go to decision.
I know, but if it does,
yeah, if it does, oh yeah, Mayweather's the winner, no doubt. But I'm calling it. It will not go to decision. I don't even think it'll go past round 8.
We're wrapping it up, so this is the last thing I want to mention about it. And then you could say your parting words, and then we'll be done. But I think that if McGregor does win, it will cripple the Las Vegas economy, because the betting for it, it's like 20-1. So people are dumping money on McGregor right now, and
because the odds are insane.
The odds are insane. They'll make a fortune if he wins, or they'll be due a fortune if he wins. I don't know what would happen to. I don't think it's ever been this extreme.
Right.
And I've read about a lot of bookies are saying that the Mayweather money is coming, so it's not as bad as people are making it out to think. That the favorite usually comes closer to the fight because people aren't in a hurry to get it in.
Right.
But if McGregor, this is like such a weird match. It's almost like a novelty. Like,
oh, it's a total novelty.
It's like a clown show. You know, it's not like a traditional fight. So if it goes awry and McGregor wins, I don't know what people are gonna do.
No,
people are gonna be standing there with their hand out.
Yeah, pay me my money.
But I've also read people in Vegas say they're not worried about it if it does happen, because there's a likelihood that it might happen. They're not worried if it does happen because those people take their money, they'll put it in a slot machine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? People are such idiots when it comes to quick, fast money.
Why do you think every casino you go to, you have to I feel, or I haven't gambled in a casino. I've only been able to gamble for 4 years, 4.5 years, and I haven't gambled in a casino. But I've walked through plenty of them.
Yes.
And something I've noticed about every casino is the payout counter is usually all the way in the back of the casino. So you usually have to walk past everything in the casino one more time with your money before you get out of it.
It's true.
So I think they have, here's the thing. Vegas isn't dumb. The house always wins.
Yeah.
So, Vegas takes a hit today with that fight. They're going to get their money back.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
The deck is always stacked in their favor. I don't think they have anything to be worried about.
Yeah, but that's all really I had to say. We're still looking for a new website to put the Chudcast on. Right now, we're still going to be doing the live format. We'll probably be introducing some new elements and segments and stuff. With the live format, it's a lot easier to have segments. I can have little graphics and all kinds of cool stuff going on. So I'm still toying with it and learning how to use it a lot. But I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're watching this, after it's come out, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment on that video regardless. But make sure you turn up for our next live, because we'd love to be able to chat with people on there. I think that would be really fun for us, and it would add a lot of element to our discussion. So
yes, absolutely. That'd be, let's try to make that a goal for our next Chudcast, is to get. I just want to get, if we get input from one person who's watching it live, that'll make the show a huge success for me. I'll be so stoked about it. So please, if pretty much you're watching on the YouTube channel right now. So if you are, please subscribe to Pain and Game. Turn on the push notifications. That way you get notified when we go live. Even if you're just take 5 minutes, write something down in the live chat. We'll
whatever
go over
it is. Yeah, it can be ridiculous. All we talk about is ridiculous.
Yeah,
stuff,
we'll go over it. We'll give you an opinion on it. You can watch it later. You don't have to watch it when it's live. But that's, let's make that our goal for the next show, is to get input from somebody watching it live.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. So tune in. We're still doing this weekly. We never really mentioned how often we do it. We do it once a week. Try to make it for about an hour. This one's running longer than usual, but we're trying to have it a little more condensed. About an hour. We kind of got on some tangents today, but I love doing that. So
that's what the show's about. It's supposed to be kind of unfiltered.
Yeah.
It's just supposed to be. It's just supposed to be whatever the hell falls out of our mouth is what you're gonna get. So
But
All right.
thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, we're